these are a couple of poems that I threw together to fill in a collection I've done called Borderlines, and because they're all on the border of something. And these couple of poems are about people that I met, two people that I met on my walks on the back of Whitmore Common, where there's quite a big hill called Jordan Hill. And I take the dog round there, and there are some really unusual people who kind of live in scattered houses around the common, and occasionally you meet them. So I wanted to read about them. And the first is called The Power Walkers. Just a bit of context, they're not actually kind of what you understand by power walking as a sport. There are a couple quite a bit older than me who just used to kind of be joined together and power on their walks. They looked as if they were power walking, but they weren't. They were just walking quite fast and very close together. The Power Walkers. Across the field, approaching at high speed, small specks that rapidly come into focus, leaning forwards, conjoined at the hip, the Power Walkers. He the epitome of well-spoken Englishman, she with just a hint of mid-Atlantic. For all their pace, they always stop to talk, inquiring after our dog Robbie's health, remembering from a previous conversation his patient's suffering with mystery ailments. He was a devotee of Morgan cars. Together they had driven to St. Petersburg in their vintage open-top three-wheeler through Europe, serious enthusiasts. But there is little time for small talk. Heads forward, side by side, they're off again, powering down the hill, then disappearing into the alley, hidden by the hedge that runs past Andrew's house. At various times we'd meet them on our walks, powering towards us, always the same routine, questions about the dog, then powering off again, or rounding some sharp corner, suddenly they would be there before us. But now that several years have gone by since we last saw them, we are left to wonder. The couple were not young, in youthful bloom. Were those walks a way of combating infirmity we never talked about? Did we miss compassion's opportunity? Or did they simply move to fresh horizons for power walking with their vintage car? In my mind's eye, they power walk towards us, and wind blows on their faces as they motor open-topped to more St. Petersburgs. Okay, thank you. I'll just try one more. If I can figure out where it is. I'll read it from the book. It's just a title of people I meet on Whitmore Common. As light was fading on my homeward walk, I saw a shady-looking figure, stooped like a tramp in his demeanour, cutting with low sweeping swings of sickles, swathes of nettles edging all the track that climbed towards the house on Jordan Hill. I thanked him for this act of public service. "Oh no," he said, with menacing low drawl, "this track is mine." I feared for my safety and his state of mind. But since that time, I've often talked with Donald, who lives with Sue, his wife, on Jordan Hill, in their secluded cottage, Jordan House. He often seems to wander in the woods, bent over like some ancient anchorite, rising from the very ground itself and always recognizable from far. By some strange shadow chance, he will appear just as I am approaching on the path, not far from where he lives. His brother, a solicitor, told Donald that wealth earned in financial services made him a parasite. What did I think? Pot calling kettle black, I said. We got on well. He had been an itinerant lay preacher in chapels scattered throughout rural Surrey, but long since lost that faith and calling. He didn't tell me why he turned aside, but strange our paths were led to coincide. Thank you.